I know. Perry, I can hear
No better
you.
yet?
For some reason, you're not coming through. I'll play with the settings to try and get it louder. I don't know why you're not coming through the actual speaker system itself, like
Okay.
it normally does.
I can hear you fine. Am I gonna hear everybody else as well as I'm hearing you?
You'll hear everybody else that's on microphone. So when everybody comes up to speak, you'll be able to hear them.
Very good.
If I put them on my phone, it's going to revert, it's going to bounce back. No, it's going to bounce back. We
just have to be real quiet when we listen for his yes or no.
I'll keep my comments to a minimum. How's that?
Okay, I'm gonna work on with some of the settings for now, Perry, so hopefully I can get you over the speaker system. I don't know what happened to it, but
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead and start the meeting at this point.
That's fine. Go
We're
right ahead.
recording.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting from Township of Pemberton for Council. Regular meeting agenda, April 2nd, 2025, 6 o'clock p.m. Read the public meeting statement. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Acts, adequate notice of this meeting has been published in the Pemberton County Times and Trenton Times on the 5th day of January, 2025. Additionally, posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Pemberton on the first day of January 2025. Those wishing to be notified of changes to the scheduled meetings were notified via email or regular mail. Would everybody please stand and respect the flag, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's that? Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, yeah. But on the calendar. It should have been.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dewey?
Here.
Mr. Harper?
Here.
Mr. Bianchini?
Here.
Mr. Doyle?
I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Doyle is here. I can hear him on the computer. I don't know why he's not coming over the speaker. Mr. Ward?
Here.
Sorry. Yeah, where's the first one?
All right. Next up on the agenda is closed session resolution number 121, 2025, authorizes council to go into closed session. Do we have anything for closed session this evening?
No, we don't, sir.
Okay. And no formal action. Okay. And so next up, we're going to get into public comment. Before we get into public comment this evening, though, I'd like to say a few things that I finished up at the last meeting. Everybody do me a favor, just look to your left and right and look at your neighbors for me, please. Say hello. And enjoy what everybody has to say when they come up to the podium. Be respectful, please, of your neighbors. It's a very big, important thing in my life. And I hope we do the same. You know, everybody has an opinion. You may not agree with it. But just make sure we give your neighbors courtesy, please. Thank you. And I'll read the public comments statement. The council's intention is to preserve the level of respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct the public's business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for purposes of clarification. Council members can offer comments on a speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5-minute time frame. Just so everybody knows, our clerk is the official timekeeper of that 5 minutes. Who'd like to come up and be first? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good
Joe Fallon, 32 Clubhouse Road. I'm here to offer my opinion about the case settlement that you all have to, I guess, vote on tonight. I'm angered by the fact that the mayor's behavior is going to cost us, the taxpayers, money. Not just in this case, but it may set a precedent for the two following on cases. I don't know the particulars on the other two, but this one may set the precedent. So I say approve it, because we know, based on the information that was presented at the last meeting by the solicitor, and the information that we have now, that these facts were reviewed, they were discussed, negotiated, and they came down with a finding that the township is responsible to pay the complainant. Trying to go and roll the dice using the same facts, maybe in front of someone else who may decide that the higher amount is more appropriate, given the facts and circumstances. So I say approve it. At least we know this is what we're going to have to budget for. Don't like it, and I don't expect that we'd get a different outcome going somewhere else, given the same facts and the fact that it's already been negotiated and those terms have been put out in the public. It just seems to me it's not a good way to roll the dice. Because of what's been going on between the council and the mayor and his behavior, I am going to put out there that you all consider a change in the form of government. Getting the power to make decisions back up with the council. It would take you all to vote for it, get it up on the ballot, and have people being able to vote on it again. We changed it because we weren't happy with the previous form of government. And unfortunately, no one foresaw this particular kind of behavior. So that's a follow-on to, yeah, let's bite the bullet, get it done, not roll the dice, but also down the road, let's prevent this from occurring again. And unfortunately, from what I see, this mayor is still going to be around until the next election, and who knows what else is going to come down the road. So that's my suggestion. The bank building, it's up for sale. Historically, since they put in the lights up at the top of the hill, Note Boom, Clubhouse, Lakehurst, intersection, terrible. It's not going to get any better if whatever is put into the bank building is going to generate more traffic. When it was the bank, if you all remember, there was a back exit you could get out. Now there's only one way in and one way out, right there, right next to that intersection. That's going to be a mess. And maybe generate a few more accidents down at that corner. I mean, right now, if you pull out and try to make a left onto Lakehurst, you have to keep inching out to get past the fence because it's blocking your view. And if you're trying to make a right and someone's over there trying to make a left, you're sitting there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes because the people in the next vehicle may be a big pickup or a van or a truck and you can't see. So the intersection is really dangerous. And the fact that you have dominoes coming in and out, that's my suggestion. When I was on the Environmental Commission when they were talking about putting that light in. It was recommended then to ask for a light. And the county said, oh, you don't need it. There's not enough traffic. So we're left with a legacy there. It's a lousy intersection. The fact that those two roads offset each other and dominoes are coming in and out of there. You're playing Russian roulette in some cases trying to get out of there. Said I'd try to get through it. Now I'm going to
Oh, okay.
voice a complaint.
Is it going to be a quick complaint, Joel?
Yes,
Okay.
very quick.
All right.
I received a letter telling me that now I have a rental property in the township. It's been in the family for 30-plus years. Bought it for my parents to live in when they retired. When they passed, my son and his wife moved in there. They're still there, and that's over 20-some years ago. And now I'm told this is a rental property. He's not paying rent. He's paying the mortgage. He's paying all the bills for the place. It's in my name. If we're trying to make affordable housing in this township, and I'm not the only one that has family living in a home in this township. I know there are others. Why are we now increasing the cost to have your own family live in a house that you own and have owned? It was passed in 21, I understand, that this,
What I would say, not to cut you off, but for time's sake and allow the people, have you contacted community development yet about that?
community development?
Yeah, down the hall.
No, I went down to code enforcement.
Oh, who sent you the letter?
It was some company that's been, I guess, contracted to enforce these regulations. I didn't, I meant to bring that form letter. They've been sending them out because I know of other people who have them.
I'm sorry, I do not believe we are contracted with anybody to send out. I will tell you that we get numerous OPA requests from companies, commercial companies, for rental property addresses. I don't know why yours would be on that list, or we get numerous requests.
Well, I'm sorry.
But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and you can call the Community Development Department tomorrow, if your family is living in there, it's not considered a rental. It's not classified as a rental if there is family living in there. So,
The forms that code enforcement gave me,
Yeah, that's why I said good.
community, okay,
Yeah, Amy's right.
Code
yeah.
enforcement is part of the Community Development Department.
okay.
So if you didn't get a letter from code enforcement, I don't know who this company is that's sending it.
I thought it was from it didn't look like it was from the township, but
Yeah.
The township does have a computer program that generates some of this stuff,
Okay.
so it may look like that, but if,
all right. What
Come on.
number is I'm supposed to call? Community development?
609-894-3330.
Okay, 3330,
3376 is another number you can call.
3376. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And thank you all for volunteering your time to do this job.
Thank you.
Tough one. Thank you.
Can I say something before we start again? Just a note, I apologize, Mr. Bianchini, you are correct. It was, the YouTube link was not on the calendar. It has since been put on the calendar. So anybody that's getting messages or from friends, if you can text them, the link is back up. But it's just a link to the Pemberton Township YouTube page. It's not specifically to the meeting. It's just a page where you can go to the live meeting.
Good evening. Deborah Skipper, Pineview Terrace. I wasn't going to say anything, but I wanted to jump up and I'll let you guys. I also received that letter this week, and as soon as I got it, I did call code enforcement and spoke to them. A lot of them were sent out in error. It's a company that is sending out letters to all rental properties in reference to the lead. I got one on a house that was torn down like 4 or 5 years ago that was in the center of my community. And they sent one out, and I just called and said the property's not even there. And no problem, they said there was a lot of them that were sent out in error. So I just wanted to tell you that. And I would like to say I am hoping that friends and family and whoever of the mayor does push him to resign. It's a shame that we're being stymied in this township by not being able to go forward with all the wonderful ideas that everyone has and a great council. And I am also strongly requesting for his deplorable behavior. And you said 2 lawsuits. I believe the count is up at 5, maybe 6. So I just the deplorable behavior. I'm again asking for him to resign, do the right thing. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
It's been a week, hasn't it? First and foremost, my name's Alexander Costa. I live at 2950 Route 70. Thank you for communicating back to me and getting the information to Miss Amy for the calendar. I wanted to make sure that people could see it, so thank you. Dan, how's everything going? I hear Columbo's out in the streets somewhere, so I think he's going to be looking for more information soon. Number one, I just wanted to reiterate, I'm going to be open requesting more information. I've got keywords now, so the email that you guys received, the long-winded one, I know you guys were probably sleeping at the end of my email. I got keywords now, so hopefully that satisfies the clerks and makes their life a little bit easier. I know they have a lot of stuff, and as Miss Amy just said, they get a lot of OPA requests from companies. I don't know why they OPA request stuff.
Because they're allowed to.
They are, well,
It's the law, which is what we follow.
that's fair. First and foremost, who are the refunds going to? Are they they're not veterans, I'm assuming. Are they companies? And that's for 1/22/2025.
It's residents that rent our facilities.
Like the BMIA building? Okay.
It's their deposit refund.
I definitely would say yes to 1/24/2025. That's us getting money, or is that us spending the 7,000?
Receiving it.
That's us receiving it? Okay, so sure, $7,000. That's good. I'm assuming 126 and 125 go together for the home improvement program, and then, or are they 2 different things?
2 different things.
Okay, just making sure. And for a new business on the back, definitely say yes to letter A, number 1. She's a very nice lady. I think you guys should do her a solid and give it to her. Renew it. And letter B, for sure. I think the township should also buy a few flowers from the young ladies, or, maybe some council members, and bring them in here and do a photo shoot with them. Then support the local, Girl Scouts. And I don't mean to skip back. 1/27/2025. Who are the members that are going to be appointed to the Economic and Business Development Committee? And do we have an update on the Tom Boyd investigation? Because I know, Dan, you had asked for the investigation back in July of last year, so I didn't know if we have an update on Mr. Boyd's investigation report. And I'm done.
I can take 127. 127, we have a list of names, but we just like to announce them when we get to them, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's
Alex?
fine.
No problem.
What was the other one?
Jerry can handle the Tom Boyd name?
Tom Boyd.
I spoke with Mr. Boyd a few months ago, and he did not want to go forward with anything, so it stopped.
Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Good evening, Marie Reynolds, Horizon Road, Browns Mills. Mr. Dasty, is it true, Am I correct that the mayor is not required to attend the council meetings?
You're correct.
He's not required, that's not
That's
a
correct.
requirement. And since he has denied department heads the ability to come and attend, how is it then that your questions are supposed to be, the council's questions are supposed to be answered?
You have to be more specific, Mr. I'm not.
Well, I understand that he has precluded department's head from attending these meetings. So if council members have questions on things that they're supposed to be voting on at these meetings, and he's not here, and they can't be here, is that impeding the work of the council in some way? I mean,
Is that a rhetorical question for me?
I guess it's a rhetorical question for all of you.
Well, I don't know that, I don't know if the mayor has specifically demanded that department heads not be here. I mean, they're public citizens, they can be here. But I don't know that that's necessarily true.
Okay.
Know that if my understanding of it is that if a councilman has a question of a particular department head, the mayor wants that question to go through that.
Right, okay. And so for the next month, it's my understanding that the mayor's going to be away. And if all questions are supposed to be going through him to the department heads, will it be a month or will it be 2 months? Do we know?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's a month, Marie. What I could honestly say is though, with the five of us up here, if we have questions, or if we want, I think the department heads are more than happy. They've showed their, they've showed their commitment to the council with showing up for meetings. So I think if we all had a question or wanted them to be here, I think they feel
That
safe
they would
enough now
come.
that they would show up.
Would they feel comfortable enough to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe while he's away, but maybe.
Well,
And
I
who-
think we have council has support of all the departments.
Oh, I'm sure you
directors.
do.
Yeah, and
I think you
they would
probably
show up.
do. Yeah, I believe
I think
that.
we've showed over the past several months that, we're not here to attack or abuse anybody. And if they
No,
want to show up, they'll-
I understand that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't want them to feel as though they're intimidated and they
Yeah,
can't.
right,
you know.
exactly, nor do I.
And who will act in the mayor's place while he's away?
I was told that the Department of Public Works Director will be acting in the mayor's
Is there
stead.
something official on that, or?
There it
Yes.
There's, he has to do something official to do that?
Yes.
So, okay, the head of, okay.
Mr. President.
All right, that's it, thank you
Yeah,
very
absolutely,
much.
Matt.
Yeah,
So Tompkins, I will not call him mayor. He has given myself and Mr. Harper the approval to speak to the Director of Public Works. So
Oh,
that,
okay.
that's an inroad right there.
Okay, good.
As for, my mind just went blank, just out of my head. As for Tom McNaughton as the acting mayor, he's the acting mayor. We did receive a memo, but he's the acting mayor with zero authority.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. So,
my
so
gosh, that's a
Tompkins
big deal.
rewrote the statute on this whole thing
yeah, but,
and put him in the seat with no authority whatsoever.
It's like having Jack.
wow, I'm not sure I feel real safe about that.
No,
I mean, aren't
no.
there things that might come up?
We're looking at some things, but yeah, he left him with no authority whatsoever.
Amy, have you fixed me yet or not?
I hope the public is listening. We really have to do
Hey,
something about the
public wants
mayor.
transparency, they're gonna get the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I have no problems with giving the ugly, with
I
extreme
know.
bias.
I know,
Amy, am I able
know.
to speak yet?
Just a minute, Perry.
Okay.
And Marie, on another note, last year, if you'll remember back, the mayor gave the business administrator full authority while he was away. And we
Right.
see some of the things that went on
I
while
see,
he was in
yes.
charge, signing
Yeah.
things as acting mayor.
Yeah.
So are we getting it worse or better? We're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
just have to take it
No,
day
you'll
by
have to
day.
put faith in the person. You'll have to put faith in the person that's been appointed,
Yeah.
that they're gonna do the right thing, And I think they know the township well enough
But it-
probably to do that,
But as
but,
Josh and Matt said, we do have a little more inroads to communication with the department heads. So hopefully
yeah,
that will be helpful enough to get through the next month.
yeah. Well, it's a shame that an elected official can be such an impediment to an entire town of, more than 30,000 people. It's just sad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Councilman Doyle had some comments. I can hear him, but he's still not coming through the speaker. Perry, if you want to try, I can relay your comments.
Are you able to hear me now or no?
I can hear you. the public in the room.
Amy, I'll say it briefly, but then you can convey it to what you just said up there, that he has removed all powers of the mayor from Mr. McNaughton. Mr. McNaughton, I think, would be in a position for a month where we could absolutely move forward and get things done with the community and get things done with all the departments. However, removing all the powers a mayor has, such as hiring, firing, moving things forward with the budget, and the other major things that are required by an administrator who's stepping out for a month, he can do none of them.
Okay, I'm going to try and reiterate what Mr. Doyle just said. Mr. Doyle agreed with what Mr. Bianchini said regarding the removal of the power from the acting mayor, which would be Mr. McNaughton. And he was hoping that they'd be able to move forward with Mr. McNaughton and get items done for the township. Mr. McNaughton is not allowed to do anything regarding the budget or any personnel matters, hiring or firing. And he's essentially taken all power away from Mr. McNaughton to do anything to help move the town forward during the mayor's absence. Did I get that correct, Perry?
Right on the button. Thank you, Amy.
Okay, he said what I said was correct. Thank you.
Hello, Marty Graflinger, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Good evening, members of the Town Council, distinguished community leaders and residents of our community. I'm Marty Graflinger, President of the BMIA. I recognize there are pressing issues tonight, so I won't make this as long as usual. I just want to take a moment to go over our upcoming events at the BMIA. First, I'm really excited to provide an update on the Water Carnival. We have garnered interest from almost 10 floats, which bodes well for a successful boat parade, something we all deeply miss. If there are other residents interested in putting a float into the boat parade, please keep in mind that there are prizes to be won. Give the Recreation Department a call at 609-893-5034 to let them know of your interest. They have valuable information that can help you. The BMIA is also aware of certain folks who are willing to not only help you build your float, but they have supplies they will offer for free, including platforms, drums, and decorations. So get in touch with us at the BMIA and let us help you if you are planning to put a float in. If you are a community organization, this is a great way to get your name out there. If you own a business in town, this is an excellent opportunity to advertise. Don't miss out on this chance to be a part of an event that will have hundreds, if not thousands, of people watching. This Friday night, April 4th, we'll be holding an open mic night at the BMIA. Remember, our members always enjoy free food at our Friday night events. Doors will open at 6:45, so come on out and enjoy some live music with your neighbors. For those interested in performing or for more details, please contact Tony Mealy at 609-744-9938. On Saturday, we'll gather for Clean Communities at the Browns Mills Firehouse on Trenton Road at 8 a.m. The BMIA will be there, and we're seeking enthusiastic volunteers. Please monitor our Facebook page for any weather-related cancellations. Looking ahead, our annual AMPed event is scheduled for April 27th at 2 p.m., showcasing art, music, poetry, and dance. We welcome participants from the community. If you have artwork to display, a dance troupe ready to perform, or a band to bring, we'd love to host you. For more information, you can reach out to Tony at 609-744-9938. I'd also like to remind everyone about the paint party with Debbie King on May 2nd. As part of our Fun Friday nights, doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and free food will be available for members. As we promised, the super low price for tickets is just $30 for both non-members and members, which includes all materials, canvas paint, and instruction. I do have tickets with me tonight and accept cash, check, PayPal, or Zelle. Don't wait too long. It's first come, first serve, and the final count will be taken 1 week prior to the event, so get your tickets early. Additionally, mark your calendars for our yard sale on May 25th. We're offering free picnic food and providing a free table for members. Following that, on June 6th, we'll host our 50 sock hop, and on June 22nd, we'll celebrate our graduation luncheon. If you have a child or grandchild graduating from high school, 8th grade, or preschool, please let us know. We have funds set aside for monetary gifts for recognizing graduates, but the family must be a member in good standing with their dues paid. Speaking of membership, it's only $15 per family per year, and you get so much for that $15. We're hoping that everyone will join because when we have a large group of people, we can advocate for our members effectively. If there's ever a problem that we can handle, we will speak to the town council on your behalf. Advocacy is something we are very passionate about in our town, and we stand ready to represent your interests. If you are interested in joining the board of directors of the BMIA, please reach out to me personally, and I will get you an invitation to one of our board meetings so you can see how we make this all happen. And before I close, just to ad lib, we are starting to talk about a community garden, and the BMIA is going to partner with Environmental Commission, White's Bogs, and the Pineland Success Center. We're really passionate about giving people a way to grow their food and to get instruction from Mrs. Catalano. She was once a home ec teacher and teach people how to cook with whole food. And we believe we can make this community garden happen. So we are having a meeting at the BMIA building on April 17th at 6:30 p.m. And anyone is welcome to join who has an interest in this. So it's just going to be a kind of a gathering of thoughts at this meeting, but we're really passionate about it. So hopefully we can make this happen. And thank you so much for your attention tonight. And I look forward to seeing your upcoming events. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Can I give you, I have some paint party things. Can I
Sure,
hand them?
absolutely,
Okay.
Marty. And- Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Hello, everyone. Tracy Riccadelli, 21A Center Street. I wanted to just let you know that, and thank you for putting this on YouTube because we missed a few meetings, but we don't feel like we lost touch with anything because we were able to watch them. The other thing I wanted to ask or tell you is the light by Center Street, on Birmingham, they were out there working on it, so I wanted to thank everybody for doing something with that. I wanted to know if we heard anything else about the warehouses. I haven't heard anything about it in a while, so I was just, the ones off of Birmingham. Yeah.
We had a meeting with the Soldat, that's how I know the Soldat people about a week ago. There are funds that they have to provide to us, monies that are owed to the town, which they're going to provide within 30 days. Our engineer did a site inspection because we haven't released the maintenance bond. They have a cash bond, and they have to do those improvements within 30 days also. In the meantime, they didn't get a certificate of occupancy.
So, are we still looking at 5 warehouses, or, is that what we're
But
still?
I'm talking about the existing warehouses that are built.
I'm sorry, I was talking about the 5 that they're planning on putting in.
Well, that one's in litigation.
So,
Is
yeah,
that
I
the one we're
didn't know
talking
if
about?
anything, I didn't know if anything came out of that.
We're still in litigation.
Okay.
Ms. Guthrie's attorney and our office have prepared appellate briefs. We filed them.
It is what it
And
is.
we'll wait to hear what happens.
Okay. The other thing I was doing is I was reading up, and I could be talking out of the left side of my mouth, but, something about you guys can put a committee together to change the rules of the Faulkner Act. Is that possible?
No, I don't, you can't, Tracy, you can't change the rules of the Faulkner Act. The way I was explained, it was explained to me, right? Council in its powers, and Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I am wrong. With a 5-0 vote, you can actually put it on the ballot as a referendum. for the next time around to potentially change the form of government, which
Okay.
there's three forms of Faulkner.
Yeah, the three
A
I'm
township
talking about.
form, borough form,
Manager.
yep, yeah. So there's a bunch of different forms. We only qualify for, I want to say, 3 out of the entire 7, if I'm not mistaken, any forms of government because of the population size. That's a
Okay.
deciding factor, so, yeah. But we would qualify for like a township form or, a weak mayor form under the Faulkner Act if we wanted to keep it at that. So I would say everybody should study up on the forms of government. I'm impressed that you came up and you know that stuff already, but and I think council will make a good decision sooner rather than later on, what we're doing with that.
Okay, because, I mean, we can impeach a president, but we can't get rid of the mayor that's causing damage to us. So I was just kind of curious on where we were going with that. But that's all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tracy.
Mr. Lee, how are you doing this evening?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Okay, Lionel Lee, 250 University Avenue. And I've said on many occasions how much I respect those chairs up there because I happen to occupy one of them. So I understand. But, and it's very unfortunate that the mayor's not here because, I try not to comment because, I know how this thing goes. But I just sat here and heard that, I know we don't have a business manager. And we have a mayor with no powers, I guess, because he's unavailable. So, how are we conducting business right now? Is there a mechanism for the township to continue to conduct business with those voids?
That's the second rhetorical question someone's asked me tonight. How are we going to go forward?
Well, you just answered. You answered enough. Okay, so I'm just, I'm gonna, it's unfortunate we're here, but elections have consequences. You guys won. You are charged to handle this situation. So, hopefully, you got a plan. We got something that's going to still, in the midst of all this chaos, still move the township forward, because we still have problems out here, and I know y'all are well aware of them. So, the game, I gotta say, the game don't stop, man. The sun come up tomorrow. We gotta figure something out, and, all the finger pointing and his fault, that fault, lawsuits, that don't matter nowadays. We need results. And with that note, I appreciate your time. Yeah, take it easy.
Okay, a few things here. I thought the council was able to subpoena the department heads to have them come to these council meetings. That's the first question, but let me finish. I want to make a comment on the $50,000 of whether the taxes are going to pay it or the mayor and administration is going to pay that. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but I do feel as if, number one, the mayor must pay, and let the chips fall where they will. This is just my opinion without digging, probing, and analyzing like you might be able to do, okay? I feel like that's enabling him if he doesn't have to pay. Why should we have to pay for his bad behavior? Horrible, horrible behavior. The other thing is the other question is, if anybody can remember these questions, I know you have a good memory. If he keeps having all these lawsuits, won't the insurance group start increasing our insurance rates? That's another question. I'm gonna do the questions real quick. The 5 warehouses, this young lady was talking about it this evening, but I thought I thought I remember hearing that they were gonna go back to, that 5 warehouses was gonna go back to the planning board. And I just want to know if that's true, and if so, who makes the final decision on that? The planning board or the council? And if it is true that it's gone back to the planning board, it must not be true, because you would have told Tracy that that's what's going on with that. But other than that, I just want to know, what's the bottom line? Is that our only option, to bring it back to the planning board? Because the planning board already said no to the 5 warehouses, so why should we bring it back to them? But in any case, that's a question I have. I'm almost done, I think. We had a program here, the UEZ, and it was brought to council. We talked about it a couple of meetings ago. And this is for you, Matthew. And it was a UEZ, right? And under what time, we were told that we had to vote on it because of time restraints. And did I hear my timer go off or no?
No.
Okay, so I was told that you guys were under time restraints, and I wanted to know what the bottom line, when did you have to make that decision? You made a motion that night. Do you recall what I'm talking about? Okay, so the question's for you, you can answer when I'm almost done. I appreciate that you made that motion, and I agree with you. Okay. I don't know if you changed your mind since then, but then I want to say that, okay, I think that's it for now. And then I just wanted to say that me and my 2 sons, the son that has the baby, 1-year-old, we went to the Nesbitt Center on Sunday. It was beautiful. And my grandson's older sister was able to ride around the park, and my son was running. He used to run track, so he was like running around there, having a great time, and they were able to play on the playgrounds. That's a great place for people to go. If anybody's looking for something fun to do with your grandkids or your children, it's at the Nesbitt Center, and there were no dogs this time. So I was happy about that. And I look forward to working with maybe Harry and a few of the people about the problems that we are having with the dogs in the future. And I don't know if my 5 minutes is up, but I had a few questions. If anybody wants to answer them, I would appreciate it.
Go ahead, Matt, she picked on you first. So.
I didn't
She
pick
called me
on
Matthew, and
him.
I'm only called Matthew when I'm in trouble. So the UEZ question, that was, I don't forget the exact timeline, but my hesitation to approve the plan was we wanted some of the maps updated
Yeah.
in the plan. But I think we had 30 days to approve it. So we did approve it, but they're supposed to update those maps as well.
I think you have them.
Yeah, they
We
haven't
have them
updated.
now.
Yeah, so that was my hesitation. But the maps have been updated to remove certain areas from the UEZ. So that was the reason why I didn't want to do it at first.
So which council member has inspected these maps and believes that they are adequate now? Anybody?
Well,
Has anybody a chance to look at the maps?
Michelle, I'll say they're adequate.
Are you the only one who's seen the maps?
I have not,
I
I've not
haven't
seen
seen
them.
them.
I heard they came in, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet.
Okay, well, I would just like to suggest that
All of council got the maps.
The updated ones?
the new ones?
There
The
was
new ones?
something updated. You adopted what was given to council the night it was
Yeah, but,
approved. They adopted what you were given.
Yeah, but they were
I
supposed,
don't
they were
know
supposed
if
to
they were able
send
to put
a
them up in the website.
updated, more in-depth map, and I
Yeah.
thought this, community development said they got the updated stuff. I'm not
I
sure.
thought they
We
added
do,
some
we
too.
do have the maps to be put on the website, yeah.
The
Digital
updated
map.
ones?
It's the same
It's the
maps.
same
There's
map,
no
Michelle.
updated map, it was just
I
easier
thought
to
there was supposed to be an
re-digitalize.
updated map, that's what I was told.
They made them a little clearer, that's what it was. It was
They were
a little
supposed
easier
to-
read.
It was
Circle the
brighter,
business
brighter
areas,
and bigger, yeah.
the brighter and bigger, and
Brighter and bigger lines, yeah.
that's all that changed on it?
That's about it.
And you guys are gonna pass that, or you already did, and there's nothing we can do about it?
It was approved on the night we approved it, just we asked them to see if they could improve the clarity of the maps, yeah.
Well, I would suggest that you all take a look at it.
Yeah.
'Cause do you have a chance to change your mind if you don't like the way the maps look?
We can keep asking them to improve them if we think they're not to what we want.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I did see those maps, yeah, Amy, you emailed them to us separately. Yeah, I did get those. But we should talk
And I'll
about
take
that.
a shot at the 5 warehouses, and Jerry, you can stop me if I get out of line. As far as we know, as Jerry was saying earlier, the lawsuit, the judge made a decision, and they've appealed it. I mean, the judge pretty much told them to go back to the planning board and start over again. But they've appealed it, and now we have to just wait and see what happens from there. So, they haven't went away, but, it's,
Councilman, that's not quite right, but
okay.
close.
Go ahead.
At this point, the case is in the appellate division. At the trial court, the judge effectively approved the application, subject to a condition that the developer, had to get access through a township right-of-way to get out to Birmingham. And in December, that was before the council to adopt an ordinance to allow for that. And the township did not approve that.
Right.
So our position now is that although it was approved with a condition. And they can't meet that condition. So I think to get back to where you are, our position is, you're not going to get this, you can't get started since you didn't get the first base yet. And you didn't get the first base yet because you didn't meet that condition that the planning board required. So they have to come back to the planning board. That's what we've asked the appellate division to do. They'll remand it to the planning board, and then either a new application or ask the planning board to remove the condition, whatever. But it's not over yet. I guess that's what I'm trying to say to you. Okay?
Okay, so that wasn't the bottom line. So the council said no, but they're pushing forward anyway, basically. That's the bottom line, right?
Well, it's still in
Right.
court. Is that what you mean? Is it court?
Okay. So does anybody know when it's going back to the planning board?
No. And we don't know that it will. We've asked the court to order that, but that's still pending.
Okay, thank you very much. And so are you allowed to subpoena the department heads to come to these meetings? Yes or no? I was told
So
at a meeting.
Michelle, council can, if they so choose to. I don't think any of the council members have had a necessity to do that as of late. So.
I think 2 or 3 meetings ago, the department head of the DPW was here. Last meeting, there was the CFO and the CD director, so, they're
Okay.
here.
Okay, thank you.
And also, one meeting, we had the tax collector, so.
Okay, thank you for answering that question.
Yes, you are.
What did he say?
I clicked something correctly. I don't know what it was.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. Have a good
Mr.
evening.
President,
Oh, is that Terry?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead, Per.
Is it okay?
He's on the speakers.
Okay. Hi, Michelle. First of all, if you remember correctly, we had that issue about a month ago where we needed some serious questions answered about spending a lot of money on a big truck. So the mayor wasn't too keen on having it come in on his own, so we used our subpoena powers. If you remember correctly, Josh and Jerry subpoenaed him in, he came into the meeting, and he answered the questions that we had. Since then, we haven't really had any questions for the department head that we weren't getting accurately to make the decisions that we need to. We've been getting our answers. But however, I can tell you, in my opinion, and I think everybody ever support me with this, if we had questions we needed answered, and our mayor was standing in the way of those direct questions that we wanted to ask, we would absolutely subpoena them if we need them. However, I don't think we have a single department head that wouldn't be happy to come forward to talk to us on their own without the subpoenas being necessary.
Okay, that was good news. Thank you very much, Mr. Doyle.
You're welcome, Michelle.
I just remembered something about the UEZ. So my hesitation wasn't the clarity of the maps. There were certain areas in the maps that residents, Birmingham specifically, wanted modified to remove from the UEZ. And I was told that we could modify after approval. Is that still accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Through what, the planning board, or how could you modify it? Through town council, you can make a resolution or something?
We would work with the developer, the engineer of the plan, right?
Yeah, that.
CMA.
Yeah, CMA, yeah.
Yes. And then we would review and approve.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pat Guthrie, 317 Birmingham Road. I wasn't going to get up and talk, but I was just listening to people, and I just wanted to ask a few things or mention a few things. I'd like to thank Michelle for bringing up the UEZ, but I really don't want to discuss the UEZ at this point. It didn't go well with me the last time I did. I did get a rental letter in the mail too, which really kind of shocked me. I would like to, just so you see what it is that we're seeing, I'll text you or email you a copy of that letter, because I'm really confused too, because I don't rent any property. So I got to get with them, and the way I read it too, they just want to check for lead, and I have no problem with contacting them to come out and check and see if there's lead in there, because I've never lived in the house and I have no idea, so it is a nice thing to know. And that's the way I read the letter is what they're inspecting for. Since the guy from the Department of Public Works was appointed to fill in for the mayor, even though he has no authority to approve or disapprove anything, wouldn't it be a good idea for him to be here at the meeting, if not to just take notes? And, I don't know if he's communicating with the mayor, and, I'm assuming, being that I've worked in government in state and county offices for many years, that the supervisors are the one that run day-to-day business. So I'm not concerned about the township falling apart, because we do have very good people like Amy and other people that work in the building that are supervisors that know what they need to do. But basically, since there was someone that was appointed in the position, maybe we could see if in those meetings that the mayor is supposed to be attending, like maybe he should be here. So if that's something we can look into, unless he's really not appointed, and that's the only way I can take it with someone not showing up. And in reference to the Faulkner Act and the referendum and voting and stuff, I mean, I know that's going to be a process as far as changing our way of government. Like I had mentioned, I work for the county, I work for the state, I work for the federal government. Each one of the employees, when they get hired, have to lift their hand and swear that, they're going to follow the laws of the land. And basically, I know with all of them, one of the things that I had to swear into saying that I was not going to sue. Lawsuits were pretty much made up for reparations on for a person to get reparations against an individual who committed harm to them. And the mayor is not having to pay any reparations because he's an employee, whether they're a elected, appointed, or hired official, employee. They're still an employee. He was elected, but he's an elected employee. So somewhere along the line, we should come up with an ordinance governing the employees, whether they're elected, appointed, or hired. I know the hired ones usually fall under the union, unlike supervisors who don't fall under union, or I could imagine the elected officials or the mayor, for instance. But we should have some kind of ordinance written up saying the proper way a person's supposed to behave. Because like with the government, there's like 3 strikes, you're out. You get counseled 3 times for things that were inappropriate, then you're gone, you're out of a job. Because this lawsuit is
not hurting the mayor, it's hurting the people, the residents who pay in taxes. And like the federal government doesn't think that harm should come to the people through any of their employees. The state feels the same way. I worked for the state and the welfare board. I worked for the county. I was a big brother, big sister, knocking on doors, recruiting. And in each instance, you know, you get sworn in and you sign a paper saying that you're not going to sue the government in any which way. But basically, if you have harm that comes to you, there are things that can be done about that. Not go around and hurting the people that are paying your wages. So, I mean, if you guys need help or, you know, can look into the way the government, the state, and the county does it, maybe we can come up with something for the township so people can be, you know, whether you're a regular employee and, you know, you do something that, like, I used to have to counsel people for being late all the time. Okay? So, you know, you couldn't just fire them for being late, but if they were late consecutive and you counseled them consecutively, then that was grounds for termination. Well, there should be some kind of grounds for termination for the mayor, and if we had an ordinance that said that, especially in his case with all the stuff that he's done, he should have been terminated a long time ago. So you may not be able to change the, you know, Faulkner Act without it going up for vote and, you know, having to have everybody vote on it and make it a long, drawn-out thing that's going to take years, God knows, to actually hit anything. But you do have the power to create an ordinance. So maybe that's something that you might want to consider. Thank you.
Ms. Guthrie, I've been asked to respond to your, you asked if the acting mayor, you know, can be required to be here at our meetings. Well, if the regular mayor can't be required to be here, the acting mayor is not going to be required either. And the other thing was, we do have what we call an indemnification ordinance already. Generally speaking, we talked about this a little bit last time. The ordinance protects employees who get sued while they are correctly doing what they're supposed to be doing in terms of the township. Now, I used the example last time of a police officer in a car. This is an accident. Well, and a police officer gets sued as well as the township. Well, we have insurance which takes care, which defends the police officer because he was doing his job correctly and something happened. But if a police officer was found to be drunk when he was driving, well, that's not something we would have to insure him for because he's doing something that's not part of his day-to-day responsibilities. In the case involving that what's on the council's agenda this evening, the former judge who mediated the case, a very well-known judge, felt that the allegations in this case, which are not the same types of allegations in the other cases that are still pending, the allegations in this case are that the mayor did things incorrectly, but in his capacity as mayor. And Mr. Hornicle, who was then the BA, did things incorrectly because he didn't follow our HR policies. The allegation was that a complaint was made by the plaintiff to the BA in that case, and our HR manual, if you will, and our ordinances would have required some sort of an investigation, which was not done by the administrator. So those were wrong actions taken, but not still within the purview of their normal responsibilities. So I hope that answers your question.
I know Matt, of all people, must know how many times have you had to go to a sexual harassment or another meeting with the government on how you have to behave, HR policies, you know, it's a class that I had to attend a minimum of once a year. And it's mandatory, even for every new employee, to have to go through all the strenuous meetings and stuff to pretty much tell you how you're supposed to act when you're in a place of business. And I know a lot of it's common sense, but apparently we've thrown common sense out the window at this point. So I'm just saying that maybe that's just something that needs to come back. And that should be governed in the ordinance and through HR or, you know, however you guys handle training of like employees, elected officials, and appointed supervisors. So
can
I'm
I-
curious to know,
I
I'd like
just
to
say
read
something?
this ordinance myself.
Ms. Guthrie, we are all required to take these classes, especially the supervisors, and we do take the classes because the person in charge of tracking that makes sure that we do. As council will know, just this past week, I sent numerous emails because they had their cyber training, safety
But
training.
is
they had to
he
do.
included in them, though?
He's supposed to be.
Okay,
But
and
as
can
we-
he be counseled for not following proper procedure and stepping out of line to the point where if we had an ordinance that says 3 strikes, you're out?
Ms. Guthrie, the only thing I can say is I know he was told to. Whether he did or not is not something I can answer to. But
So
we are-
I think the mayor should fall in that category of 3 strikes, you're out. And he's had 5 from what I understand, if not more.
I understand, but the employees and the supervisors are required, and we do training. I can speak to that as somebody that is here day in and day out.
Councilman Doyle, did you have something?
I did, yes, Ms. Guthrie, good evening. And this is also going to touch back onto what Mr. Lee said, because I feel exactly what he said as well, that the son has to come up tomorrow as well. We all have to understand one thing, that was an elected position. We voted for him, we put him in that position, and all you can do after that happens is hope that they stand up and make decisions and do the right things that they say they're going to do to get your vote. Obviously, in this case, it didn't happen. So, since we've been elected as council, the last council prior to the 3 of us getting in got a little taste of it, that they have to do something that hasn't usually had to have been done in the past. And that is minimize the damages that are going to be done to the township, to the residents, and especially to the employees. So not only are we tasked, Mr. Lee, with trying to move this place forward as best we can and do the things that we have on our agenda that we would love to see get done during our tenure here, but we have to also act as a shield and protect the residents and protect the employees from the misuse and the bad mistakes and bad decisions that are being made right now that we have no control over. We have to unfortunately do our best to try to stay one step ahead of them and try to anticipate the poor decisions that are going to be made before they're made so that we can protect all of you. We are going to do our very best to be ready when the sun rises the next day, but we also have to keep that in mind as well. Thank you.
If I could just add one more thing, I mean, let's all remember a little over 2 years ago, he stood up here before everybody, and he took an oath on a Bible to do certain things and not do certain things, and he obviously forgot every single thing he said that day. Yeah, it's just a shame. Yeah, I mean, I know it's still a little fresh in my mind because I had to do it a few months ago. Yeah, and I took that very seriously. He just obviously does not. Yeah, and believe me, I've been looking through under every rock I could. I've called the governor's office this week. I've called assembly people's office this week to try to get some help. Called the state attorney general's office, see what's going on with the other lawsuits. Yeah, and you know, they're tied up just like we are. The governor can't even throw the guy out of office unless it amounts to a criminal charge. You know, if he can't do it, I don't know how we can do it. You know, Jerry Dassey's, we asked him that on a daily basis probably. Is there something we can do? You know, we're just trying to do the best we can. Yeah, be nice if he did the right thing, but we know that's not going to happen either. Thank you.
Robert Bowl, and I live in Bounce Mills, Monroe Avenue. Speaking of turning over rocks, they need to be turned over, and I brought it up once before, a month ago or so, I guess, and I just wanted to see if there was a follow-up on it. as I'm sure the solicitor knows, there's a New Jersey statutes, Title 9, Title 30, which concerns, is that better? Title 9, not Title 30, New Jersey statutes concerning child abuse and neglect. And under the old DIFUS, which I worked in, it's now Protective Services anyway. And there's a portion of that called Institutional Abuse Unit. Institutional abuse investigates abuse done on children by, police officers, teachers, etc. Anybody who has parental control over a child. If an employee is 17 years old, that makes her a child. She's under 18. And if she's sexually harassed by her supervisor, especially in a government agency, I don't see how that wouldn't fall under institutional abuse investigation and obviously turn into a criminal charge as well. I know you've been trying to find some legitimate sources to go after the mayor, if it might be a better word than to say that, but has anyone followed up and contacted institutional abuse unit of the Children's Services in the state of New Jersey to see if they are going to investigate an allegation of sexual harassment at the minimum of a child under the age of 17 and under the supervision of the mayor and his whoever he puts in charge. But since he's the one directly named in some of the allegations, that would be the man. Is anybody following up on that, or is it? I know that a comment was made to the police department, but the police department is not directly responsible for doing those investigations. It's the state. The police can do it, but they rarely ever do, which is why they created a child abuse agency. So dropping it onto the police and say, well, we've told the police and that's it. That isn't sufficient. So I'm wondering, was there any follow-up? Did any person here take it literally when it says in the statute that any person having a suspicion of a child abuse or neglect must report it to the agency? So has anyone done it?
You got that, Jerry? Or?
My understanding of it is, and the record is that the allegation in the complaint about the underage girl was brought to the attention of the police department. The police department sat down with mom, and mama said, we don't want to go forward. We don't want to we're not going there.
It's not a choice like that, sir. And all
Sir,
due
I'm not
respect-
arguing with, no, hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you, I wasn't
What
here
happened?
there, and I'm not sure anybody was. That's the reason, that's why it stopped, because mom had indicated that it would be better just letting it go.
But with all due respect, it's not mom's decision either, or the police decision. It has to be reported, and then the decision is made by the division.
Sir, it was reported, and mom did not want to file and go any
You
further.
keep saying, mom has no choice in that. And it's not reporting it to the police that's the issue. The law specifically says to the division. I don't know why that's very clear. It's simple. You're an attorney, you ought to know that.
Hold on.
Hold on, Perry.
Hold on. Perry?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, Perry.
The only one who can allow the interview regardless of who's going to interview the child. So once
Yes, it
it's
is
turned over
true.
to the police take their appropriate calls and referrals, and even if it comes to DIFUS, they would have to have a judge intervene to do something if they deemed it was necessary enough to do an interview without a parent's consent. So yes, the parent
That's right.
absolutely has to say.
They have the say in a criminal investigation, but they don't have a say in a civil issue with DIFUS, the old DIFUS. They really don't. I mean, I'm not saying that parents aren't often respected in that, but this is a situation that goes a little beyond the average thing that you have.
You were talking about a criminal issue. That's what you were talking about,
It's
right?
It could become a criminal issue, certainly, but there's a civil issue first, and that's the report being made to the division, which
Sir,
you haven't made. You made it to the police.
If it's a civil issue, mom sued the town and presumably is going to be talking about settling the case now. So it was brought up civilly. and it was brought.
But it wasn't
I
reported
can't-
to the right agency.
If I could address it, when this incident happened, I think there was 3 in a row, right? Lawsuits.
Yep.
And the one involving the juvenile, I took those papers and the other 2, and I met with the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office. They had the paperwork for over a week. They called me in, we talked, and they personally handed it over to the New Jersey State Attorney General. Now, Harry can take it from there because he's been calling them, and I don't believe there's been much done.
Well, the state attorney general
Yeah,
represents Cypress.
I've reached out to them again this week. I usually call them on a monthly basis, and they'll give me the same boilerplate, answer is it's an active and ongoing investigation. We cannot comment until the investigation is complete.
Completed.
And therefore, here we are with our hands tied. We
I
can't do
understand.
anything until the investigation.
Yeah.
But I reach out on a regular basis. I don't think anybody here, well, now, I can't say, I think there's a lot of people here that really want to see, the
hear
end
that.
result that we need to see.
I hear that. This is
Yeah.
another avenue, and I understand the bureaucracy is what it is, but.
We followed every avenue and we keep following it. I was doing this before I became a councilman, following up with the State Attorney General's office on a monthly basis. Yeah,
And they are
I
the
even
ones
called
that
the governor's
represent-
office this morning to see if they could push it a little further. And, you can call them, I can give you the phone number. I mean,
I have-
and they'll tell you, we'll get back to you in 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, I
The
have
governor has no power unless it's becomes a criminal case.
Right, and the
Yeah.
Attorney General's office represents DIFUS, the old DIFUS.
Right.
Uh,
So
but-
it's
but
being
it's-
looked at. The
But-
wheels of justice
There's-
turn slowly, unfortunately.
There's a bureaucracy. I know, I've worked in that for 30 years, so I understand that. But there are ways of dealing with that bureaucracy. And even though the Attorney General's office is the legal authority that brings charges and so on through DIFUS, both criminally and civilly, but it still hasn't gotten to the agency itself, who has to make that decision as to whether or not they're going to investigate. It doesn't sound like it. The police were notified, the Attorney General's office, nobody called. We'll call the director of the division and say, what are you guys doing about this? And then he can fight with the police and the Attorney General's office.
Tomorrow, sir, I'll look up that phone number and I'll call them too.
I have the form the Freedom of Information Act form that I got. I haven't done it yet because I figure, why should I? I'm the third party, and you guys have the direct allegations. I don't have.
We're considered
I don't know
third
the
party,
person's
we're
name
considered
either.
third parties also.
Yeah,
We're
but
not
yeah.
the family, we're not the victim,
But you're employing the victim.
Oh,
I'm not.
No, I won't take credit for employing that.
Well, the town is,
Yeah.
and I don't know her name, and I
We
would
could go
never
around
ask.
and around all night about this, but
Yeah,
we're
well,
trying.
I'm just saying that do that one extra step and see what happens. You've done everything else. I know you all been trying, and my heart goes out to you because it's a difficult thing. And this guy shouldn't be allowed to be in that position, but he is. So just one more step, one more rock to turn over to see what garbage is.
We'll take that up, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else for public comment this evening? America, I know you have something to say.
I listen first. Good evening, everybody in general. We don't look good, but guess what? We have to continue going and pay the price with our choice. Because if we say no, we go further down. May as well just keep it the way it is right now and try to do our best with our mayor. The only thing I just noticed Each time I come to the meeting will be less people who represent the township. It's only you guys and here. We should not be that way. Because if we got questions, you guys going ask the person over here and they go and reply and say, I'm not allowed to go back even if there is nobody there. I was a state worker for 28 years. And I know what you guys going through with this lawsuit. In my 28 years, I saw so many people get in trouble. I was a shop steward for the state, helping them. Not because if there were something went wrong with them, we got to pay the price. Because you were the mean people, you did not represent us. That's not the way it works. And the thing surprised me with all the people in this township workers. I know that we elected our mayor. I knock doors. I be the first to admit it, I be honest with you. But this is what we did not expect as a citizen. Now we are paying the price. As a taxpayer, we have to pay. We don't have too much choice. Employee under the township, we gotta pay. Whatever is going to happen, we still gotta pay. Okay, I'm going to leave it that way. Now, I'm going and study my little things what I've been discussed in the past and nothing has been done about it. Those gates there, everything where they didn't hear. They can save that money and put in those signs where I wanted on Spring Lake Boulevard and Route 70. No leader sign, please. And you know where they put those stupid signs? In the center of the town. I know there are about 6 or 8 in there. I cleaned the place last week. Please, give us signs and put it there because will be less garbage where I gotta pick up. Take only one person to get caught. And we have to go, not $100, $200. Fix them up, $1,000 the first offense. Second, go 15. Continue going because take only one person. And you know what that person is going to say? Guess what? I got caught. And you know how much they suck it to me? $1,000. Hey, stupid, you were the dumb one. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Sycamore Hall. I just hope the township be able to get that building back, please. That's the only historic thing we got left here in town. And the next thing, I'm going to go in reference to our all the laundromat for this man being paid, all his rateable, leave it to the township. Now they throwing him out. That's not fair. Please find a place for him. He's one of the good residents, taxpayers. Now I'm going to pull in here in reference to the Lowe's and Home Depot and whatever. When I come to this meeting, I hear from this front, we have to bring the rateable, leave it in the town. What the township is doing to take the rateable to the Burlington, Home Depot, Lowe's, Mount Holly, Lumberton, whatever. Why we don't supply help Mr. O'Brien? He's willing to just give it you. I know that I got 5 minutes, but guess what? You better just stay with me. I got 2 more things. I leave it away. Okay, now I'm going in reference to the empty houses. I know that our township has a lot of empty houses. People haven't done nothing in those houses, and everybody owns those houses. Code enforcement go by, guess what? I know that it's a house 6, 7 years. empty. I walk in there every day. There is another house on Kentucky Trail. There is another house on Virginia Drive, the house where they said, the mayor stated in the past, they was sold. I don't know what is going on with that house. They bought a person for Williamboro, bought it as a warehouse. We don't need warehouse in Presidential Lake. We need houses. That's what we need. Okay, let me just go and see and hear. Yeah, give me a second, okay? Okay, in reference to the warehouses, I know that everything is in delegation right now. And my next question I want to ask it is, when is the deadline for the leaf pickup? Anybody knows?
Well, the what was that, Ms. Phillips?
Leaf pickups.
Uh-huh. Where's the what?
The deadline from Presidential Lake, leaf pickups.
I believe it's May 15th right now, but they're talking about extending it.
Okay. I brought it to their attention last time. Please, when those trucks are there, send them to pick it up. All the leaves are there. The people got it back. Why do we got to call these people? All the years in the past, I got it back my stupid leaf and just put it in outside. They wanted the other company. The people doesn't clean. I got to clean it anyway. But please, just tell them to just go when they driving around. I'm a taxpayer. I'm paying all the gas, even when they go to Lowe's and over there. I know how much costs from my house to Lowe's and Home Depot. And I leave it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
Hi, Valerie Rohr, Pemberton Road. First, I would like to nominate America for, and give her a booklet of citations to pass out to anyone and everyone. I nominate her for that job. I think she could raise a lot of funds. And I just want to know about Mr. Ellie. I want to know what's going on with his situation.
Is that your only question?
That's my only question.
As far as I know, Valerie, I haven't heard of any updates yet, except that June 1st, was it June? June 1st. June 1st, right? So council made the decision to extend that to June 1st. But as of right now, I haven't heard of any change. Thank you. Anybody else for public comment this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll close out public comment for this evening. And we'll move on to the resolutions, because we're going to do that by consent, right? Okay.
Council
We're
President.
going to add those after, right?
Council President, if you don't mind, I'd like to just pull out 123.
Oh, hold on, I think I gotta read the asterisk, Harry, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me
Go-
read the thing and then.
go right ahead.
then we- All right, consent agenda, all items listed with an asterisk are considered to be a routine by the Township Council, will be enacted by one motion. Should a council member wish to discuss a consent agenda item separately, that item can be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Okay, so does anybody have anything that they'd like to pull off the consent agenda?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to pull 123 off for discussion and 127 for obvious reasons for discussion.
Okay. It's a short list tonight. Anybody else? Councilman Doyle, do you have anything? Just trying to see if he's there too. All right, perfect. All right, so other than that, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
That's a motion to approve as amended.
As
correct?
amended, yes. All right.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle? Mr. Ward.
Yes. Okay, so Mr. Harper, you're up first, 123, 2025.
All right, 123, 2025, as it was said today, we got to keep moving on with business and stuff. With the lack of having things that we've been asking the mayor for months now, a budget, a pay resolution. I don't think this resolution should be passed until we get a budget. And one of the other things I think, and I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, we discovered a mistake with the CELDAT sewer bill, but, maybe when our departments get a chance, maybe they should look over all the other commercial rate holders in the town, see if there's any mistakes there to help us gain some monies that we need, and maybe even our residential accounts that have multiple use, apartment complexes, houses that have been subdivided, and help us find some incomes and update that way. And then maybe after the mayor gives us a budget, we'll think about approving this at a later date.
That was, those are my thoughts exactly. And the budget's been ready for about 4 months now, and it's being held up. We don't have a good reason why.
No.
I have my own opinion on that, which I will not share here.
I'd like to.
I can't keep the language clean, so. No, so until such time as we see a budget, not saying an approved budget, just a draft budget, something to work with. Any resolution that includes an expenditure, we will not approve unless it's gonna stop township business. That's all I got.
I got one, Josh, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Danny.
In my line of business, I used to do a wage and benefit survey once a year. And the reason I did that was to make sure that I was competitive with what I was paying my A mechanics, B mechanics, C mechanics, D mechanics. And then I would find out all about their benefits and find out if there was a zero deductible, they had to pay a deductible. And I did this when I was preparing my budgets to make sure that I was competitive with everybody who was probably 20 miles radius of the dealership. For the life of me, for $8,500, they're looking at two questions. How much are you charging for sewage, and what is your connection fee? Now, I don't, for the life of me, understand why one person from the sewer division could take 10 minutes to find out how many sewer departments are in Burlington County, and, and call them and find out what are your connection fees and how much is your quarterly bills for the sewage. Now, if it cost us $200 to do it with his time, and it's certainly better than $8,500. And like with my colleagues, we don't even have an approved budget and they're spending money. So maybe that's a suggestion that we could take to Tom. It's going to take 2 hours, and you're going to get the same answer. That's all I have. Thank you.
I mean, I do concur, so just need a motion from the floor.
I don't know, what do you gentlemen think, better to table it or just deny it and?
Deny it.
All right, make a motion that we deny resolution 123, 2025 until we receive a permanent budget for the town.
I'll second.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. Okay, next up is 127, 2025, Harry.
Would you like to read that whole thing out?
Sure.
So the whole audience knows, Josh? Thank you. Oh, no problem.
Alrighty, so this is in reference to, well, I will say it's a long time coming, but got a lot of good and exciting news in regards to this and other committees, but this was Township of Pemberton Resolution Number 127, 2025, appointing members to the Economic and Business Development Committee. By ordinance number 1, 2025, the township established, 127, 2025, the township established an Economic and Business Development Committee. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Pemberton that the following appointments are made as follows. Richard Brown, 2-year term to expire 12/31/2026. If anybody doesn't know Mr. Brown, he was so brutally removed, as well as some other folks, from the planning board this past year, and he has a lot of experience to keep giving our town, and I commend him to coming back. I personally consulted with him this past week on this appointment, and I commend him for coming back and serving our township, because he has a lot of value and a lot of information to give back. So that's that. Eric Howen, 2-year term to expire 12/31/2026. If anybody doesn't know Mr. Howen, he lives up on North Pemberton Road,
Yes.
right? His mom was Mrs. Kalen, right, Danny? She just turned 100 years old.
Marie Kalen.
Yeah, just turned 100 years old, has a preserved farm on North Pemberton Road, and is also a businessman, working, if anybody wants to know his credentials, because I know we've been questioned with credentials before, but he works or operates the Amish Shed Company over in Medford, New Jersey on Route 70. So he's a very responsible and professional entrepreneur that would have a lot to give to this committee. Marie Reynolds, 2-year term to expire 12/31/2026. I'd like to thank Mrs. Reynolds for stepping up to serve. And Debbie Skipper, as a non-resident business owner. If you don't recall, this ordinance called for 2 non-resident business owners. And I think council, and we, upon recommendation of some people from other members of this committee, will be going out this week, and I'll be sending some council members around this week to try to find that other non-resident business owner. But if anybody doesn't know, Mrs. Skipper, she's in the back of the room there, and please congratulate her with us. And then we're also looking for an appointment. Do we do that? Do we do that now? Why before we make this appointment? Right? Yeah. Need a recommendation from the board, from the council, to appoint a member of the council for their council member position on the Business and Economic Development Committee.
I make a motion for Matt Bianchini.
One for Matt. I'll second that.
We don't really need to do
Yeah.
the motion on the name, you just need to make the motion adopting the resolution. with
Perfect.
Mr. Bianchini as the council member.
All right. Thank you, Amy.
Josh,
so-
were we gonna put Renee on as an alternate, or is that?
Yeah, I gotta put that space on there, but yes. Okay, so, need a motion to approve at this point in time, resolution number 127, 2025, with the amendment of adding Councilmember Bianchini as the council member appointee on the board.
Make a motion to approve 127, 2025 with the amendments.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle? Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. And on a side note, just in case anybody forgot, because this has taken, what, Danny, 2 years?
Yes.
2 years to get this through, which is ridiculous. Just five guys trying to move the township forward and help out, like Mr. Lee said. And I have great respect for Mr. Lee. And just so everybody knows, what also was held up with this, and I know this is out of the ordinary, but I need to explain. What this held up was a personal mission from myself, in particular with Danny's support and everybody else's support, to get out there in our community and get some activism from our high school children in the FBLA. If anybody doesn't know what FBLA stands for, it's Future Business Leaders of America. I was a member when I went to high school, graduated in 97. And that program taught me a lot and gave me a lot of who I am today. So I made a call to Mrs. Sharp, and I congratulated her. And she's very well accepting of it, and she's looking forward to getting some FBLA members for the class of next year on this board as non-voting members, rightfully so, but get them some stakeholdership in our community. So, excellent. Thank you. Okay, now we have some last-minute resolutions that we need to add on to the agenda. And there would be, could I just add these on together? Could I do, or I gotta read one at a time?
Well, you're gonna add them on first. You're gonna add on
Okay.
the resolution number and the heading if you wish.
Okay, so I'm looking for, I guess, an adoption of council to add resolution number 128, 2025, authorizing approval of a proposed settlement of litigation entitlement, Pittman v. Pemberton, Tompkins, and Hornicle. That would be the first.
This is just to put the
Just to get it
resolution on the agenda.
Make a motion to put Resolution 128, 2025 on the agenda.
I'll second.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. We also have a second resolution here this evening, Township of Pemberton Resolution Number 129, 2025, expressing its disapproval of Mayor Jack K. Tompkins and demanding his resignation.
Make a motion to enter Resolution 129, 2025 onto the agenda.
Word in the sewer at this point, or just do?
Let's do the resolutions first.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. All righty. So just so everybody in the audience knows, I guess, how about you, Matt? Let's share the wealth here.
Okay. What would
Okay.
you like me to do?
How about you read the page for 128, 2025?
Okay. Resolution number 128, 2025, authorizing approval of a proposed settlement of litigation entitled Pittman v. Pemberton, Tompkins, and Hornicle. Whereas the Township of Pemberton, County of Burlington, hereinafter referred to as the Township, has been named a defendant in litigation initiated by a Township employee, Nicole Pittman. And whereas other defendants named in the complaint are Jack K. Tompkins and Daniel Hornicle. And whereas the complaint is venued in the Superior Court of New Jersey, Law Division, Burlington County, docket number BUR-L-002234-23. And whereas, after extensive litigation, the parties have reached a tentative settlement wherein the plaintiff, Nicole Pittman, will be paid in excess of $550,000 through the township and its insurance company. Excuse me. Whereas, pursuant to the contract between the township and the insurance company, as part of the settlement, the township is obligated to pay $50,000 toward the aforementioned settlement with Ms. Pittman. And whereas the township has been advised by its legal counsel that if the township does not agree to settle the litigation, not only will litigation continue, but the township may be exposed to additional costs and expenses, including a trial, punitive damages, violation of the law against discrimination, assessment of attorney's fees, etc. And whereas the litigation has named Jack K. Tompkins and Daniel Hornicle as defendants in part because of the actions and statements made by Jack K. Tompkins to Ms. Pittman and to Daniel Hornicle, the prior township administrator who failed to follow through with the harassment complaints of the plaintiff in accordance with the township ordinances and policies concerning sexual and occupational harassment allegations. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Pemberton in the County of Burlington, State of New Jersey as follows. The township very reluctantly, and I mean that, very reluctantly, authorizes the payment of $50,000 to settle the litigation initiated by the plaintiff Nicole Pittman against the township, Jack K. Tompkins, and Daniel Hornicle. The Township Council specifically notes that the allegations in the complaint are strictly against Jack K. Tompkins and Daniel Hornicle. The township admonishes Jack K. Jack K. Tompkins and former Township Administrator Daniel Hornicle for their actions and failure to take appropriate actions which resulted in litigation initiated by Nicole Pittman. The Township believes that it is in the long-term best interest of the Township and its taxpayers to settle this litigation, including payment of $50,000 of taxpayer funds in order to avoid additional damages and costs if the settlement is not finalized and trial by jury is to proceed. I got some comments on this.
Sure.
So reluctantly is an understatement. The one thing that pushed me over the edge to reluctantly accept this is a word used in the opinion made by the mediator, and the word was indefensible. Indefensible, I'm sure you all know what that means, but I'll just give you my version of a definition is that if this goes to court with a trial jury, we will lose, and that 550 will double, maybe even triple, which is more of a hit to the taxpayers in Pemberton Township. So the $50,000, while it's not optimal, we're getting off kind of cheap. Not really, but it's a lot better than paying $2 million or $3 million. I believe we've reached our deductible with the.
We've already reached the deductible.
Yeah, so, this is in the best interest of the township to pay this money. Anybody else?
I think you said it all, Matt. It's just, if we don't really want to do this, but, you know, it would only be worse for the town if we did not. It would not be any worse for Jack Tompkins or the previous business administrator. Yeah, they're getting off scot-free. Yeah, but, yeah, it would only bring more, you know, hardships on the taxpayers and the business owners of this town. So, that's about all I got to say.
Well, this particular lawsuit, it wasn't sexual, it wasn't touchy-feely or anything like that. It was strictly policy. And I had talked to Jerry about it. I was thinking, you know, we pay the $50,000 and put liens against Tompkins' house and in Hornicles, but he told me better, you know, we'll leave it the way it is for now. The other cases that are coming up are totally different, and they're gonna have a totally different outcome with us. That's all I can say.
And the current number of lawsuits, it was at 5. As of today, it's 6. As another employee filed a lawsuit against the mayor. And that's not to say there aren't any more coming.
I'm getting in line.
And there you go. So it's, like I said, not optimal, but it's something we have to do.
Mr. President, if I may also, please.
Councilman Doyle?
I need the residents and every employee that's hearing this to completely understand that any vote of us in the affirmative to support this and settle this, no way do we condone any of the alleged actions or the admitted actions that were done by Jack to put us where we are. I want to make sure everybody is crystal clear on that. The vote of yes on this will be nothing more than protection of our residents, and most importantly, the most support and protection we can give to our employees going forward.
With that, I reluctantly make a motion to approve Resolution 129, 2025.
I will reluctantly
128, 2025.
I will reluctantly
I'm sorry.
second it.
Yeah,
Mr. Harper?
yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Guilty, but yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. All right. 129, 2025, you don't want to share yeah, you want to do that one too? Do it.
I was raised better, and there's certain things common sense. Who said common sense before? Marie, was that you? Somebody used the word common sense when they came up here.
Patty.
Okay, Pat. Some things you just don't do. It's common sense. You treat people with respect, a little dignity, and chivalry is not dead. Like, I still open the doors for my wife. Not the car door, I feel like walking around, that's another story. But, no, I mean, as a man, I treat women probably with a little more respect than I'll treat another guy. That's how I was raised. It's just being a good person. You don't disrespect people publicly. Praise publicly, punish privately. That's what you do. So if you have a problem with an employee, pull them aside. Tell them behind closed doors. Don't insult them and just totally disrespect them in public with other employees. It's not right. It's not right. With that being said, resolution number 129, 2025. Expressing his disapproval of Mayor Jack K. Tompkins and demanding his resignation. Whereas the Township of Pemberton, County of Burlington, has received numerous complaints of actions and failure to take appropriate actions by Mayor Jack K. Tompkins. And whereas most recently, the Township has been required to settle a lawsuit caused by the actions by Mayor Jack K. Tompkins in the manner in which he has harassed the Township employee, resulting in payment by the Township of taxpayer funds in the amount of $50,000. And whereas this is the most recent action of the mayor is one more example of the mayor's refusal to take action to the best interest of the Township and its residents. And whereas the Township Council wants to hereby express its extreme displeasure of the mayor and ask that he resign from office in order to save the Township additional expenses, costs, and poor leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Pemberton in the County of Burlington, State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council expresses its disapproval of the actions of Mayor Jack K. Tompkins and asks that he immediately resign as mayor. It is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution shall be provided to each of the following: Jack K. Tompkins, Mayor; Jerry J. Dasty, Esquire.
I just like to say, this is this is not the end of things, as we've been saying tonight. Matt said there's now 6 total. You have a dog, you learn how to potty train them, you scold them and stuff. They learn eventually, but apparently Mr. Tompkins is beyond learning. I hope he's, watching us tonight, and I hope he listens. Would be nice to see a resignation on his desk first thing in the morning before he leaves for Thailand. But I doubt that it'll happen.
He's an embarrassment to our community, he's an embarrassment to his family, and he's an embarrassment to this entire county. He's making laughing stock of Pemberton Township, and we're better than that. I wish it could be more than asking for a resignation, really.
I agree. And speaking of an embarrassment, you read the Pine Barrens Tribune, you see the Facebook posts, you see what we say up here. We were at an event in Atlantic City, and we were talking to, I was talking to Senator Tiver and some other individuals, and as soon as they hear Pemberton Township, their ears perk up because they're like, oh, it's that's them. So it's not just locally where we're feeling this. I mean, this cancer is known across the state of New Jersey in different levels of government across different townships. It is a total embarrassment. So our embarrassment is not limited to us, just so everybody understands.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that I don't support any of this. And I think everybody knows that. Me and Danny were on the previous council as well, and we demanded his resignation with those 3 members of council. This is the second time, and unfortunately, I was always told, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. You know, I've been waiting for people to learn, like Matt said, educate themselves. You know, I run a business every single day. I run 26 years. And I've watched my employees stay the same age, and I've gotten older. And never once in my entire life, in my entire career, have I berated an employee, bashed an employee in front of the public. And I can honestly say, when I lived in Pittsburgh and moved back out to New Jersey, a short story, I started working in Willingboro, New Jersey at Ruby Tuesday. And a gentleman came in there, didn't know I was from Pittsburgh, and said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Pittsburgh." And can't you believe he actually knew an employee that I actually managed in Pittsburgh, sent me my picture to him, or to her, and said, "That's Josh Ward. Where are you at?" One of the best managers I've ever had. That's the legacy that I leave behind on every business that I work for. And I'm very disappointed in this mayor, because I did run with him. Danny ran with him. And the legacy that he's going to leave on this township is complete and utter garbage.
Embarrassment.
It's embarrassing, like everybody said. And it pains me personally. So. I don't really think I can add much to that, Mr. President. I'd rather have my space there to say what I have to say, but I'm just going to hold off for now and move forward.
All right. With that, I make a motion to approve Resolution 129, 2025.
I'll second.
Don't all
Mr.
jump.
Harper,
Yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Ward.
Yes. And we have council has a ordinance for potential adoption. We got to introduce this, right? Introduce, am I using the right? Introduced. So Township of Pemberton Ordinance Number 6, 2025. Oh, it needs to be added.
Yeah, you gotta vote to add it.
We got, okay, so an ordinance establishing salaries, compensation, and benefits within the Township of Pemberton. So we need to add this to the agenda. Do we have a motion to add?
Make a motion to add ordinance 6-2025 to the
I'll second.
agenda.
Mr. Harper,
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Ward.
Yes. And then, an ordinance establishing salaries, compensation, benefits within the Township of Pemberton. It is ordained and enacted by the governing body of the Township of Pemberton, County of Burlington, and State of New Jersey as follows. Article 1, establishment of salaries. By the way, this is the first salary ordinance we've gotten all year.
Oh, yes, a coincidence,
Yeah,
huh?
coincidence. The following base salary ranges are hereby established in the following positions within Township of Pemberton. A, title position, Mayor's Office. Minimum salary, $1. Maximum salary, $1. Article 2, repeal or inconsistency effective date. Any and all ordinances inconsistent with the provision of this ordinance are to the extent of such inconsistencies hereby repealed. It is further ordained that if any section, paragraph, subsection, clause, or provision of this ordinance shall be adjudged by the courts to be invalid, such adjudication shall apply only to the section, paragraph, subsection, clause, or provision so adjudicated, and the remainder of the ordinance shall be deemed valid and effective. So we need a motion to, so we got to put this on for first reading.
April 16th.
Yeah, do we have,
How did this happen? We did this last year,
I know.
right? For $1.
Yeah, Amy and I looked it up today a little bit, and what it was last year, you guys put it in a range because he'd already made 4,000, and so the range said from 1 to 4,000, and so I guess that's
Gotcha,
how.
so we're fixing it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Make him give the $4,000 back.
Yeah, can we make them give the $4,000 back? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, being as we've already gave him a $50,000 raise tonight, I think, make a motion that we approve ordinance 6-2025.
well, no, it's a motion to introduce, Harry,
Motion to introduce,
at April 16th.
April 16th.
Should we change it where it says Jack Tompkins? Because if we get a new mayor and this is forgotten, he's not gonna last long after
We'll do another
$1 a
ordinance.
year.
No, the salary's for the position, not
Right.
the person.
Right.
All right.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, I think Mr. Doyle already
Okay.
seconded. Correct, Mr. Doyle?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. Okay, next up on the agenda is number 9, new business, annual renewals for used cars. Skipper's Manufactured Home Park, which is actually on here as mobile. I'm sorry, Debbie, I don't know. Don't yell at me.
Debbie, I thought we were changing everything to mobile. Am I not?
That's fine.
What about
I was just
trailer?
making a joke. I was just making a joke. It's all good.
Change all my paperwork again.
We're good.
You gotta have some kind of fun here, everybody. I'm sorry, man.
There's one thing that
Right.
it can't be, and I won't even say it out loud. So.
Apparently I said it, she didn't hear me.
Tense?
Is there background check?
Garden Homes Management, Lakeview, and then Hilltop Mobile Home Park. Do we have a motion or comments, comments, concerns?
I make a motion to approve new business A1.
Second.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. Next up is new business 9B, special use permit. Authorizes outdoor flower sale by BSA Troop 22G for the sale of Easter flowers at K&B Bagels at Browns Mill Shopping Center parking lot on April 12th, 13th, and 19th of 2025.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle? Mr. Ward?
Yes, and after, I'm just going to read this. Apparently, I got a memo from K&B Bagels to who it may concern. Scouting America Troop 22G has our permission to fundraise with a flower sale at our location at 396 Lakehurst Road, Browns Mills, New Jersey, 08015. The dates of the flower sale are April 12th, 13th, and 19th of this year. So if anybody's looking to get some really nice flowers, please support Troop 22G at K&B Bagels on those dates. Perfect. All right. Next up is the, 10, approval by council required for payment of vouchers on bill list dated 3/27/2025. Any questions, comments, or concerns with the bill list this week?
I have one.
Councilman Dewey.
All the bills relating to ARH, I want to X them for payment.
That all you had?
Well, there's plenty on here, but there's nobody to answer questions.
Hey, I mean, I got answers from Public Works on any of the questions I had. ARH was the same thing for me, especially one of the bills I was told it was on a invalid invoice, so,
Do we have to send a memo out to all department heads to take ARH phone number out of your phone?
No, we still have to deal with them.
They're still not getting paid.
I mean, I think we have 4 now, special engineers or something, I don't know. So the list keeps growing.
I'll make a motion to approve the bill list with the amendment to remove or not pay the bills for ARH. That amounts to almost 30 grand.
I'll second it.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. Next up on the agenda is the solicitor's report.
The only thing I wanted to mention tonight is that we had a good meeting today with representatives of KHOV, Nadian, and Pemberton Borough concerning providing a water to the KHOV Nadian development and the surrounding areas. We had a good meeting with all of them, and we have some agreements to work out which are sort of in transition. And we'll certainly present everything to you at the appropriate time and explain them in detail. That's it.
Mayor's or business administrator's report.
We don't have anything.
Okay. All righty. Council member comments. Where did I start? Left? I started left last time.
Yeah, you did.
Let's go with Mr. Doyle, since you're on, where you at, Aruba, Perry, or something like that? Okay, the keys.
Do I smell old fashioned?
I'm going to go on the positive side tonight and say the one thing I am most looking forward to is I think our appointments tonight are, to me, for the business and economic development are beyond stellar. I think the people that we have appointed to this are absolute pillars of this community, and when they get their heads together, I think we're going to do amazing things. The only thing I have regrets about is that it didn't happen sooner when we wanted it to begin. My congratulations to all of them that are there. Ms. Reynolds, Ms. Skipper, I thank you so much for stepping up, and I think you're going to do good things, and we look forward to a very good working relationship with all of you. And once again, very nice to see everybody in the audience, and we do appreciate the continued support, and we will get there. Have a wonderful evening.
Oh, man.
Danny?
Want to thank everybody for coming out. We're trying to do our best to upright the ship here. We're exhausting everything that we can. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks or something, we'll get some good news. We've been hounding everybody. And I mean, as a group, you know, I think Jerry's getting tired of our questions, you know, but it's a shame what he did to our town. And hopefully he's not around for the last 20 months. That's the only thing I can say, and then we will really move forward. But again, thank you very much for supporting us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank all the volunteers that we have on this new committee that we just approved tonight. Again, you know, good people do good things, and I think we're gonna, you know, do a lot of good with that committee. We're not gonna, you know, let the town stop running. We're gonna do everything in our power to keep the town running. As Mr. Bianchina said earlier, you know, things that we see, especially without having a budget, that aren't needed at this time, we're not gonna approve. You know, we're gonna try to keep it as positive as we can under the circumstances. I mean, we got elected to you know, do good things for the town. We're gonna try, you know, despite the mayor. I mean, I hope somewhere, somehow, he gets the idea that, you know, he's just doing nothing but harm. You know, I'm just being as nice as I can about it, you know. Appreciate you people for all, you know, sticking with us, hanging in there. I'd like to, you know, any of the employees that are listening, you know, the council has your backs. You know, we're going to do everything in our power, you know, to make sure you're taken care of. I mean, you just need to have a safe and friendly work environment, and I know from hearing from a lot of employees, it's not a safe and happy work environment, and we hope to be able to change that, you know, somehow. If it takes us getting in a little trouble ourselves for coming to their aid, so be it. You know, I mean, they need somebody to look out for them. They have nobody looking out for them at all. And that's unfortunate. We're going to keep trying. Thank you all for coming out, and see you at the next meeting.
Yeah, thank you all for coming out and bearing with us and dealing with all of this nonsense, if you will. To the township employees, I think you know that we do have your backs. I think we've proved that. We don't just say it, we mean it. Hopefully this will resolve itself. eventually, somebody's eyes might open and realize that they're doing nothing but harm to this township. We have good people here, and they shouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff hanging over their heads. That is all I got. I think we've said enough on that subject. I want to wrap up with some marketing for our Veterans Advisory Committee. We are working diligently on our Memorial Day Parade and service. We are getting great feedback and great support from organizations across the township. The Ministerium, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. It's amazing, the support we're getting. Our fire department has been awesome with helping us work through a few things. So we're anticipating a great event. We have local farmers helping us out with tractors, a deuce and a half, and just, it's going to be great. The Base Honor Guard from the 87th Air Base Wing is going to be leading the parade. We are looking for volunteers. You don't have to be a veteran. The Veterans Advisory Committee meets the first Tuesday of every month at 1700, 5 p.m. right here. We actually outgrew that room at last night's meeting, so we're probably going to have to move it into this room at our next one. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm telling you, the participation is unbelievable. We want to keep the momentum. So if you want to participate with the Veterans Committee, the Veterans Advisory Committee, first Tuesday every month, 5 o'clock in the municipal building. You don't have to be a veteran. You just have to want to help and support and participate. That's all I got. Thank you for being here and have a good night.
Awesome. I'm just going to touch on a couple things that I have this evening. I try not to keep us here too long. We're actually making good progress. But, Lionel, you're right, man. Honestly, if I could speak candidly, council is trying to do everything we possibly can. I know you've sat up here and everybody else has sat up here that, I can name names and respect all of them. And I'm sure you know just as well with the roadblock that's legally there. I think we have a very good group here that when we need to get ordinances and resolutions through, we're doing our damnedest to push through what we can push through and get done with this gentleman right here, what we can get done and keep the township moving forward, because that is our goal. As representatives of you, the community, that is our goal. That is what we know that that's what we're supposed to be doing here, right? I don't know about you, but I drove through Lake Valley probably about 3 days ago on the way home from work. I was 11 o'clock at night. I must have counted 17 streetlights out. So now I'm going to, if Chief Glass is listening or, anybody at DPW, I know that they're responsible for going around counting streetlights, but I guess I'll do it on my way home tomorrow night. I'll drive every single street at 11 o'clock and do my drive around town and at night tomorrow and count the streetlights over there, because there are a lot of them out. On the subject of streets, I guess, it'll probably be a negative repercussion that I live on 2nd Avenue. 2nd Avenue probably won't get paid for another 2-3 years. But it's okay because the hole's on my side of the street, so every time I back out of the driveway, I do myself a little burnout. No, I'm just joking. I don't do that. But it is sinking down. It's compacting. So, hopefully, I'm going to call the water department, hopefully get some soil out there because it's really getting bad. And then maybe we get a paving schedule. There's some emails that I've gotten on my council emails. I'm sure you guys have too, about paving schedules this year. Has anybody seen anything yet?
Yeah, there is a list of streets out. Danny and I were talking to Mr. McNaughton the other day. They're working on 2 in Country Lakes right now. They have another one over in the Mirror Lake area that they're hoping to get to by early May. And, but I think there's 10 streets total. I don't remember all the names. And, of course, right now they're working with monies left over from last year's budget. So when the budget runs out, they'll have to stop, unfortunately. But they do have 10 streets on the list.
All right. Next off, the Human Relations Committee that council approved. I think that was did we approve that the last meeting? Finally got that through?
Yes.
We'll be looking to do appointments on that. I've heard already from my colleagues that there's a lot of people looking to the chair on that board as well. So hopefully we get some folks that want to get on there. And then I'm sorry that Marty left, but the community garden is going to be super, super important, and I'll explain to everybody why. I've been trying now for the past 2 years with the help of Christine on the environmental committee to get us in the, what's the name of the program that I'm thinking of? New Jersey, green teams. Has to do with green teams and environmental stuff. I'll leave it at that, but the community garden gave us 150 points if we could actually get that collectively going towards our certification with that program. And then all of a sudden, once you get on that program, you can get reimbursed with a $50,000 grant that would reimburse you for that community garden. So I think that's a fantastic idea. And the scout troops and everybody else in town and the farming community and our AAC would be collectively together in getting that community garden together and getting us to that over the hump for that. So I'll get Marty in touch with community development and Christine on the environmental committee, and we'll get that rocking and rolling. So that's pretty much all I have this evening. I want to thank everybody for coming out and sticking with us. I think we had a very good meeting tonight. Very respectful, very kind. Thank you very much for everybody coming out, and have a great evening. Thank you. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Good night, Perry.